No one announces it. There is no moment where you stand in front of the people in your life and say, "Something changed in me. I am different now. Please adjust how you see me." It does not work that way. The change that happens in the quiet, the kind that takes root in the place no one can see, does not come with a press release. It simply begins to show up. In small things first. In the way you respond to something that would have once set you off without hesitation. In the pause that appears where there used to be only reaction. In the softness that surfaces in a conversation that was headed somewhere harder, redirected by something you cannot fully explain and did not consciously choose. It simply happened, and you noticed it a half second after everyone else did. And then someone says something, not in a grand, meaningful way. Usually it is offhand, almost accidental, the kind of observation that gets made in the middle of something else entirely. You seem different lately. Or, I don't know, you just seem more settled. Or sometimes it is not words at all, but a look. A slight shift in the way someone turns toward you in a conversation. A moment where a person who has known you for years pauses and tilts their head, as if they are trying to place something they cannot quite identify. And you realize they are seeing something. They do not know what it is. You are not sure you could explain it to them even if they asked, but they are seeing it.
And this is where it gets complicated, because not everyone who notices will be comfortable with what they see. Some will be drawn in, curious in a way they cannot name, gravitating toward you in moments they would not have before, staying longer in conversations, asking questions they would not have thought to ask 6 months ago. Something in them recognizes something in you, the way a frequency responds to its match, and they move closer without fully understanding why. These are the ones who are being prepared for their own encounter with something they have not yet allowed themselves to fully face. And you, without trying, without planning, without a single word of explanation, have become part of how they get there.
But there will be others. And this is the part that surprises people who were not warned about it. There will be people who knew the old version of you, who were comfortable with it, who built their relationship with you around it, who depended in ways they may not have been conscious of on you remaining exactly as you were. And they will not know what to do with the new one. Not because you have become difficult or distant or self-righteous, but because change in one person has a way of holding up a mirror to everyone around them, and not everyone is ready to look. Your peace makes their anxiety visible. Your patience makes their reactivity louder. Your stillness in situations that used to produce chaos makes them uncomfortable in ways they cannot articulate, and so they express as irritation, as distance, as the subtle but unmistakable sense that something between you has shifted and they are not sure they like it.
And none of this is a reason to go back. None of it is a signal that the change was wrong, or that the presence was a mistake, or that the person you are becoming is too much for the relationships you are in. It is simply the cost of being transformed in a world that did not ask to be confronted by your transformation. It is the friction that happens when something new moves through something old. And it is, in its own way, a confirmation. Because things that do not change do not cause friction. Only things that are genuinely different disturb the air around them.
What you carry now has a weight to it that is different from the weight you used to carry. The old weight pressed down. It was heavy in the way that burdens are heavy, exhausting to hold, impossible to put down. This weight is different. It is the kind that grounds you, that keeps you present in moments that used to make you flee, that makes you capable of staying in rooms and conversations and relationships that would have previously broken you or broken out of you in ways you are not proud of. And the people around you are beginning to feel the difference, even if they cannot name it, even if they resist it, even if their resistance looks like criticism or distance, or the quiet withdrawal of someone who no longer knows exactly who they are dealing with.
Let them look. Let them notice. Let them be uncomfortable.
if that is what the mirror requires. You did not choose this to impress anyone, and you do not need to explain it to anyone. What happened in the quiet was between you and something far greater than anyone's opinion of the result. And the ones who are meant to understand, the ones whose own encounter is waiting for them just around the corner of their resistance, they will find their way to asking the question eventually. And when they do, you will know what to say. Not because you rehearsed it, but because what is real in you will recognize what is searching in them. And the answer will come from the same place the change did, quietly, without announcement, exactly on time.